Wow, so I have this small leaf elm. Ooh, what it is I'm going to cut, what am I going to keep? Alright my friends, let's go. So my friends, as you saw where I got it, let's look at this. And this, if it didn't catch on, this is all one area. The goal was to area this branch. And fortunately or unfortunately, when I cut it, this branch came with it. All the rest came with it. And I was advised by a more experienced bonsai person not to remove the other branches to see what would happen. And as you can see, let me just come back a bit so you could get a holistic view of it. As you could see, my friends, all branches have green and they can look like individual trees, but it's all one thing, you know. So today what I'm going to do is to apply that clip and grow process to this. So coming in for a closer look, my friends, this has some nice bends, some nice natural bend state. But when you come up to this point here, you're going to see a lot of branches coming out of the same spot. There was some stuff taken before. This was before my doing, and we have branches growing all over the place. And what we have to do is to take this crazy material and make it make sense. And that is where the pressure is. That is where the problem is. Because now, this is my task to make this make sense. So this is either going to be an epic fail. There is someone next door doing some drilling. Wow, or some cutting. So as I was going to say, friends, this is either going to be an epic fail or an epic success. Either which way, we try and bonsai, we go in for it. So let's get to it. So friends, I have my tools, and as you can see, just as how you seeing it in your view, this is the piece of craziness that we have to deal with. So I'm going to start by attempting to remove things that don't make sense, or what doesn't make sense to me. So let me change your view so that you could understand what I'm talking about while I'm doing it. So my friends, I'm going to start the process by removing this branch. As you could see, this is coming forward, but this going back into the canopy. And I don't think that I want that. So I'm going to remove this, but I need to set up the camera in such a way where you all could see what I'm doing. So I'm trying to work this camera thing out, and I'm having a little bit of a problem today. So bear with me. Okay, my friends. So while I shift my location just a bit. closer to the bird, so you will hear the tweeting. But as I was saying, so I'm going to remove some items. As you can see, this is going inward. So I want to remove this. And I'm going to attempt to plant these as cuttings because they grow as cuttings. So that is what I will do with these when I'm finished. And I need to make a decision as to where I want to develop my canopy for this main trunk. What will it be? Would it be a windswept? Would it be a broom style canopy? What is it going to be? And I have some choices to make. Now these fellas are coming from underneath, but ideally I should take this off. I could take this off here. Cutting this back completely. And as I'm looking at it, I'm not going to go through the whole intricate thing with you, but ideally what I want to do is to create a canopy. And in order to create a canopy, I have to pick the best branches that could start building that canopy. And in order to do that, I have to remove branches that are facing in the wrong direction. And I will have to pick a lead, an apex, because I have a lot happening here. So I'll have to pick an apex or make some really hard choices, some really tough choices, right? So that is the happenings there. So I'm not going to bore you with that. You've seen what happening. Let me get to work, let me disco with this, and we will come back and take a look at it. Yeah? All right. So my friends, this is where I have gotten so far. I've decided to take it back and start the apex from this particular point here and build over time, and let's see what happens. Now, these, as you would have seen before, were some cuts that were already made, and I tried my best to take them back. It's not the prettiest at all, but I tried my best to smoothen this out so that when it heals over again, it would heal and look nice in the future, because everything is about the future. And of course, the dogs and the birds always are fit in this place. Always are fit. All right, so I'm going back to work, and I'm going to see if I could cut a bit more from this, and then I'm going to move on to the other branches, making decisions as to what I want to keep and what I want to grow. And eventually, we are going to have to make a decision on how this is going to be presented in the future. Is either taking this away as an individual, or keeping this as something of a penging, you know. But if I'm keeping it as a penging, I'll have to make decisions on how to grow it so that it will look, give you that kind of a good look, that penging look, you know, like three trees and separate points or something of the sort. Something. I ain't reached that far yet. So, right now, this is what I've done so far. I've taken away a lot and brought this back down to basically bare minimum. I'm not interfering with the roots at all because it's already established, and I wanted to gain that vigor and push the growth up here so that we'll have more selection to choose from, and eventually we will be able to build something of a canopy at this point here. So we're moving on. I'm moving on to these others. But as I said first, I'm going to try to make this a little nicer so that when it heals over, it'll look good. Because right now it's looking so hot. It ain't looking so hot at all.
And she telling me, and she telling me, old lady walk a mile and a half, and she telling me, old lady walk a mile and a half, and she telling me, boompa, and she telling me, bada boompa, and she telling me, blimpa, old lady walk a mile and a half, and she telling me.
Alright, my friends, so I have a bit of a dilemma here. So, here what happening. This coming up, and I want to build this apex. Build this up as the apex, creating a canopy here. Right? I have this, and as you can see, if you look at the line, now although this is coming a bit on the straight side of things, yeah, I could still do something here because I don't want to cut this back here and chance it. What I could do, however, what I can do in future is air layer this piece off and start a whole new thing from here. But that is a discussion for later down the road. As I started, friends, I say, well, I have a little dilemma. This is the dilemma here. All the branches that are coming out from this individual tree coming out on the sides. So I'll have to pick one to possibly use as an apex, or I could take the chance and cut it back and see if something new will come from it. I know. Because I find it a little tough. It's a little hard for me to try to have some dead branches here. One or two dead ones. Yeah. So I don't know if I cut this back, if it will survive. I don't know. Now I have a strong shoot. Let me turn it so you can see. I have two strong shoots, as a matter of fact, down here. Now I could cut this somewhere here, so condemning this, probably trying to catch this as a cutting, I don't know, and see what comes of this. I willing to make the sacrifice. Is a hard choice because this entire planting is a tough choice. Are tough choices that I've made. You know, all of these could die back, or it could be something glorious in the future. I know. But we're trying this thing, you know. Let me see how it go. So, what I think I'm going to do, my friends, I think this is a bit straight, which is fine by me right now. I think I'm going to cut back here and see if anything new comes of it. I'm going to fertilize this heavily to try to encourage back budding and new growth, and let's see how it goes. Yeah? Alright. That's the order. Alright, my friends. So, I've made a lot of choices today. Some tougher than others, but I part of the thing. This is part of the job, you know. So, as I said, I'm not going to repot this just yet. What I'm going to do is fertilize this heavily and do my very best to have this take off again so that we'll have more choices and Two, I forget what I was gonna say, completely. Anyways, I'm gonna fertilize it heavily. I'm not going to repot it because it's already established. I'm gonna fertilize it heavily so that it could give me more choices once it grows. And I'm gonna do my very best. That's two. I'm gonna do my very best to keep it alive. That is two. That is what number two was. I'm gonna do my very, very best to keep it alive. As you can see, I'm trying to snip away some dead stuff here, and yeah, this is it for this. So let me give you guys a small update on the stuff that I have. Let me just give you a little, as soon as I want to give a little tour, the rain coming down. So my friends, oh Lord, and the man start to cut again. Hold on. Okay, my friends, two things. It seems as though I like to record coming closer to night time. Yes. Maybe because that's the time that I have. Anyways, as you can see in your view here, this is the forest that I recently did. And I don't know if you noticed, but the trees that were leaning severely on this side, not leaning so much anymore, right? Because I got under the dirt and I, for lack of a better way of putting it, I backfill some dirt under to prop it up and raise the trees a bit. And I added a little touch of wire to one tree. And that is this fellow here, so. Right, so a little touch, nothing to talk about. Nothing really to talk about. But why am I highlighting this? It's because it's not that I did the work to raise the trees a little bit more upright. It's to highlight the fact that I labeled these trees or this species badly. This is known as cat's claw. This is not bloodwood. Now, bloodwood has a different leaf pattern to cat's claw. Cat's claw gives you leaves in clumps of 4. Now, there are similarities between the two species, and this is why they can be mistaken. And I actually had to reach out to another bonsai artist to confirm what exactly I have in my possession. And this came from another, let me not say artist, because I am not a bonsai artist. I'm an enthusiast who loves the art form that is bonsai, and I am trying to go through the journey that is bonsai, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I am not a bonsai artist. I am an enthusiast practicing the art form and enjoying it. And I'm not stopping because this man making noise. I ain't stopping because it's getting darker as I go along. But another bonsai enthusiast or someone a bit more knowledgeable about trees highlighted it to me, brought it to my attention. He was like, Banner, I don't think that is bloodwood, that is cat's claw. I was like, you serious? So a little bit of investigation, and it came back that this is cat's claw. And I'm saying all of this to say, we can always have it down to a science, but there's nothing wrong in getting it wrong as long as you are willing to do a little investigation to get right. So in an effort to learn trees, because I was not necessarily a tree person before, but in an effort to learn the varying species of trees that we work with, hey, I'll go do a little investigation. And while I'm doing some investigation into the different species that I have and would like to work with, I would also do a little bit of investigation into how they grow naturally. Granted, I am going to do some things that are not necessarily natural to the particular species, but for the most part, friends are going to try to stay as natural as possible. Right? So this, my friends, is cat's claw. Next to this, I have another small leaf elm that I have some work to do with. I did some cuts and it grew back nicely. So I have this to work with. But I'm going to end the video here because I don't want the video to be too long and drawn out. Friends, thank you so very, very, very much for joining and for watching, and for all of the new subscribers. Thank you so very much for subscribing. Share it all around. The more we get in, the better. You know, continue to like, continue to ask the questions, continue to make the comments. I enjoy it. I answer. If you ask a question and I don't have the answer, I will get that answer for you. It's not a problem at all. You ask the questions and let's go through this journey together. Let's have fun trying bonsai because it's a really nice thing to try. So, my friends, on that note, have a very good afternoon and I will see you all soon. Thank you so very much. This is Bana. Agonde. Later. Bye.